So as we meet Raskolnikov in chapter 1, we see the frame of mind that he's in. He's agitated, he's going back and forth, he's talking to himself. He goes between thinking, this is just a fantasy that I've been having. Of course, I couldn't possibly do that thing that I've been thinking about doing, killing this pawnbroker. But that's not anything that I would do, to quickly changing into this is what the streets would be like. This is how many steps it would be. And then when the old man points to him and laughs and says, it refers to him as a German hatter because his hat is so out of fashion and ostentatious, he suddenly gets very jolted and anxious and thinking, this is exactly the type of thing that makes me stand out, something that I never really thought about before. Like, concerned that he has not thought through simple details that would get him noticed. He's like, this is the type of thing people would be noticing. So then again, he gets all in the frame of mind of he's walking through this as a dry run. He's noticing on the stairs, like, oh, the guy that lives across the hall from her is moving out today. That means when I come back, if I come back, nobody will be on this floor. It will be just her. So he's taking note of details. He's taking note of, okay, how many keys are on her keychain? What drawer does it sound like she's opening? He's like, oh, so your sister's not normally at home this time of day. I mean, he's not really being subtle. He thinks that he is, but he's acting odd. And then when he goes to the tavern and he has some beer and some bread and he thinks, well, that's all I needed. I just needed to eat something. And he starts looking around. He feels very light all of a sudden about that, and feeling very much like, oh, he wants to be social, and he's looking around. And then he kind of has this weird foreboding feeling like, well, that doesn't seem like me either. Like, I don't normally want to visit with people. I don't, he's been locked away in his room for a month. And it's like all these signs are pointing to he's not quite himself. He's talking to himself. He's saying that he's been shut away. He doesn't like to meet his former students. He doesn't like to meet anybody. He's become so careless with his appearance that he's literally in rags. He's wearing a hat that's so old and out of fashion. He's just not thinking clearly. And then going from that to completely feeling like, oh, everything's great, life is good. So mentally, you're starting to see already the foundation of Raskolnikov's mindset, and that he's not quite in the right frame of mind. He has not made up his mind that he's going to do anything to the landlord. Sometimes he thinks it's like, that's so wretched. Like, why would I even think about doing that? That's like disgusting to him. And then the next minute he's like, yeah, okay, so she has this key and she does this. And so he's very vacillating back and forth. And so this is our first look at Raskolnikov. And now he's entered into a tavern. He's noticing somebody who looks like they are a government worker or a former government worker. He can tell by the way that they're dressed. Everybody kind of sorts out where people are socially by how they're dressed. People have a certain look to them. And so he recognizes that this is a government worker. I think I talked about in the introductory video that there is a social hierarchy, and that is where you have the Tsar and like the aristocracy class. Then you would have the military, then you would have government workers, and then you would have the bartenders, the lawyers, the merchants. Students would also be somewhat respected. And then underneath that, you've got the beggars, the peasants, the prostitutes, people who are just doing what they can to survive. And so he's noticing this government worker. So we're going to go on to chapter 2 and see what happens at that point.